Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I'm getting this video out late because Elon Musk, the X platform, has been under a cyber attack. There still is a massive cyber attack against X. We get hacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. Either a large coordinated group and or a country is involved. Tracing, and then there was this happening again. Massive attack on X is ongoing. This is attack number 4. The attackers are relentless. Elon Musk says it is so well organized it could be a country. So I've been experiencing this just like you all have all day long. That's why I'm just now getting this video out. Now folks, this right here might be the best buying opportunity we're going to see for XRP. The markets have been getting killed today. We're at 2.54 trillion. Bitcoin's below 80,000 at 78,000. I am almost ready to buy the dip. Just trying to make sure I got things positioned. I bought the dip yesterday, but I'm trying to get my stuff ready so I can buy this one again. I will continue to, and we're going to talk. I'm going to show you in the group, by the way, the only number that you need to see to show you what's coming and why these are dip buys. I'm going to show you that, and I'm also going to show you how there's some major people out there that they're all of a sudden starting to figure out the XRP thing out of nowhere. Crypto markets have now raised 1.3 trillion of market cap since their December 16th all-time high. That's a minus 33% drop 3 months, or 15.5 billion per day for 84 days straight. Has the 2025 crypto bear market begun? Not even close, folks. This one right here, I'm having a great time buying these dips. I hope it stays down for tomorrow because that's probably when I'm going to be able to make my buy. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said there's going to be a detox period for the economy. And I said, then the rise of the new financial system. Here's Anthony Scaramucci, who is a Bitcoin guy, talking about all this.
I love the strategy. I want to applaud David Sachs for the job that he's done in terms of organizing the administration, going to the Congress and talking to the Congress about the ideas around Bitcoin and stablecoin legislation. And I think if you read through the executive order, there's a lot of meat in there for Bitcoiners. The problem with Bitcoiners, unfortunately, they've been beaten down over the last.
They've been beaten down? What about the XRP holders? That's not the problem with Bitcoin maxis anyway. Their problem is that they lie.
That's 4 or 5 years. And so the expectations were very high that the Trump administration would just come in, turn on a switch, and they would have this halcyon era. I think what David Sachs has done, frankly, is brilliant because he's trying to create a bipartisan commitment and a bipartisan understanding to digital assets and the space of digital assets in the United States. So the trading is sloppy right now, but I think if you look forward over the next 3 to 6 months, you'll see a lot more institutional buying. And the fact that the United States is going to hold this asset means that other countries, Andrew, are going to end up buying this asset as well.
So how much of it, though, depends on the U.S. government and taxpayers buying Bitcoin? Or do you think just the idea that this reserve, which is coming from basically stolen or illicit Bitcoin, which I also don't think is a great advertisement for Bitcoin.
Wait a minute. What about the cash over the decades that has been confiscated from drug dealers? Did Andrew Ross Sorkin say that that was a problem for cash? No, he did not, because this guy is a deep state narrative carrier, in my opinion.
How does that reserve therefore grow if there isn't additional money put in?
Well, okay, but there's been forfeitures of U.S. dollars. There's obviously frozen Russian assets. And so if you just equate Bitcoin to currency or dollars, then I think you can get over that assertion that it's quote unquote stolen. It's just a forfeited asset. But I think what David is basically saying, or what the communique from the Trump administration is saying, that they're not going to spend taxpayer dollars on this, but they will find revenue neutral ways to acquire Bitcoin. That could be selling other assets, frankly, that have been under forfeiture to the United States and transitioning them into Bitcoin. So again, it's a step in the right direction. And I think it's very, very important. If you think about the assets that are in our strategic reserve, they're nonpartisan. I don't think there's a debate in the Congress about holding gold or holding oil or some of the rare earth minerals or even some of the medical supplies, frankly, that the U.S. holds in its strategic reserve. And I think we want to get Bitcoin to that position, Andrew, and it will take some time. And I applaud these guys for having patience. I think if they went very, very quickly and sort of rammed this into place, there would have been a reaction formation on the side of the Democrats.
All right. Then we have this. All right. David Sachs was all about some Bitcoin in the All In podcast, but then he said this.
That's Bitcoin. Okay, so then you got the stockpile. Let me just talk about that. So first of all, like I said, we don't know exactly what digital assets the federal government has. I've seen reports that it might have, for example, 50,000 ETH, which is Ethereum. But again, we need to get to the bottom of that. When we figure out exactly what the assets are, we're going to move them into the digital stockpile. The purpose of the stockpile is responsible stewardship. It's a place for safekeeping. It's a centralized, you could say, account under the direction of the Secretary of the Treasury. And the Secretary of the Treasury will figure out how to maximize the values of these holdings. That's Bitcoin. Okay.
How do you think the Treasury Secretary of the United States, with his stewardship of XRP, is going to, what did he say?
Secretary of the Treasury. And the Secretary of the Treasury will figure out how to maximize the values of these holdings.
Figure out how to maximize the value of XRP. Do you remember? I want to play it again. Do you remember when Charles Gasparino, right in the middle of the Ripple lawsuit, said this to Hester Pierce?
Necessarily going to start with the SEC, but it's going to start with Treasury. And as a matter of fact, when we asked Jen Psaki, the President Biden's press secretary, about crypto regulation, he pointed us to the Treasury Department. So clearly something is happening from Treasury. Is that your understanding, that it's Treasury that's going to give you guys the rules of the road going forward?
Well, I should say that I speak for myself and not even the SEC, let alone the Treasury. We are an independent regulatory agency. So that's one of the complexities in the United States. There's so many different potential touch points from regulation to crypto, and I think that's been a difficult thing for people in crypto to discern and figure out that landscape. I will say that within Treasury, FinCEN is a department that was looking at crypto, has been looking at crypto for many years now, was out early with guidance, and so I don't think that people are too surprised to see FinCEN involved, as there are potential AML, anti-money laundering, know your customer, Bank Secrecy Act issues.
All right, and then let's not forget Greg Kidd.
Generally,
I put this one for you. This is from way back. I can't remember the exact date, but it's probably like 2015-ish, 2016-ish, if I had to guess. This is Greg Kidd, one of the first 10 people at Ripple.
Generally, things in financial services, you got to be regulated. So when I came to Ripple, that was a new blockchain. That was the second thing after Bitcoin. The first month we went to Treasury to explain what we were doing. So we didn't operate under the illusion that we would never be regulated and we would never have to ask permission. So it's finding that balance between doing something that's really innovative, but if you want to go mainstream and you're successful, you're going to run up against rules and regulations, guys with guns and badges.
Yeah.
So I walk that
Equally
line.
as powerful, actually.
Yeah. So I'd like to see these new innovations make it into the mainstream. I'd like everyone in the world to be able to participate in this. So that doesn't mean that you can do it in a Mad Max way. But I hope you don't have to do it in a George Orwell way either. And now I'm more aware of maybe not in a Facebook way. So that's been the big passion, is finding a way that we can take these new innovations and make them for the people.
All right, you got that? Now, I want you to see this against that backdrop. First thing he did
The people.
is took them to the Treasury. This is when former Treasury Department Counselor Craig Phillips joined the Ripple Board of Directors. And then the next one is going to be, this is when Ripple appointed the former Treasurer of the United States, Rosie Rios, to the Board of Directors. And then you've got Ondo Finance tokenized U.S. Treasury offering joins the XRP ledger. And then you have Ripple and Open Eden launch tokenized U.S. Treasury bills on the XRP ledger. Then you have Ripple stablecoin, 107% backed by U.S. Treasury bills and cash deposits. My son has retired from drawing you pictures. He is, I guess he's almost 13 now. Now, let me draw you another picture, okay? I want to go through this before I play you this clip. So first, Trump says he's going to go audit Fort Knox, or go make sure the gold's there. Now, one of the things that was said by Jim Rickards in this clip, which I didn't include it in the clip, but in the interview he did with what's her name, Cambone, Danielle Cambone. One of the things that he said in this interview was, look, the Treasury Secretary is not going to let Trump go to Fort Knox and the gold's not there. That's not happening. So in other words, the gold's there. That's not the issue. So Trump says he's going to Fort Knox. Then David Sachs says the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is a digital Fort Knox. Then they create the digital asset stockpile, okay? I don't think the problem is whether the gold is there, it's whether it's leased or rehypothecated. Are they preparing everyone for the gold market being exposed and crypto is the hedge? Just listen to what's said.
So if I were Elon Musk or President Trump, I've spoken to people close to the White House about this. I said, while you're there, why don't you ask the Treasury if this gold is leased? Now, I'm pretty sure they won't ask that question. Because if you do, you are tampering with the primal forces. You are getting at something. And you know who Blythe Masters is. Blythe was the head of global commodities trading for JP Morgan for many years. She's now, she's moved on to other things. She's been away from that for a while. But she said something some years ago, and I saw it and I verified it. Then I went back to find it and it was gone. Like it was erased from the internet, but she said it. She said, gold never settles. And what she meant by that was, all the paper gold transactions in the world will never turn into physical gold. They cannot. It's impossible. There isn't enough gold. And if we even tried, gold would go to $1,000 an ounce so fast, the ticker couldn't even keep up. So, in other words, as long as the longs and the shorts are happy and everyone's got paper gold, everyone's got price exposure, you make money, you lose money, whatever, but you don't try to turn it into physical gold, everything works fine. Gold never settles. You just roll it over or close it out or sell it to somebody else. But if you ever had a real run on the paper market, it would be, you'd break the market in a heartbeat and gold would, as I say, it would quadruple almost overnight.
There you have it. Now check this out. National Crypto Association is going to be at South by Southwest. Stuart Alderati will be there. The Bitcoin maxis are going nuts. As long as XRP dies off, I don't care how low we go. The fear is real, and it should be. These people are weirdos, folks. Now, in DAIXRP.com, you're not going to want to miss this one. And you go to DAIXRP.com to join through the Patreon, or you can click below this YouTube video, click the join button if you'd rather join through YouTube. We do extended videos with no advertising if that's your thing. But in that group, I'm going to show you how somebody really major has changed their entire tune on XRP. They're finally starting to get it. It's been right in front of your face. We've been explaining all this for years now, but you can't avoid what they're finally realizing. And I'm also going to show you the only number that matters. This pullback's great, and in fact, while I was doing this video, I was calculating what I had that I could buy the dip with, and it turns out I do have some dip buying money, and I will be doing that as soon as this video is done. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.